Okay, so that is basically my breakdown of where we are at the moment. I know it's kind of hard to really talk about what the training will look like. It's a lot easier once we've actually done it and we've been able to sort of look back on it and evaluate and say actually what did happen in the room once I know how many people are in the room, where they're coming from, and how they've responded. So that will be a really important conversation to have after the 14th of March. But I'm hoping that this gives an indication of the kind of structure. It is difficult in 3 hours because the objectives are really quite big and broad. And for somebody to come in and both talk about their work and to really share meaningfully what it is that they do and to learn new techniques is a lot to do within 3 hours. But I think it is possible, and I think that what I've tried to come up with is sort of half of the session very much discussion based, very much thinking, or maybe just over half, very much thinking about who's in the room, why are they in the room, how have they achieved what they've achieved, and who are they achieving it for? Because I think in the sharing of that, that's really what's going to get people interested in continuing their conversation with each other. And what seems to be one of the most important things that's coming through from the documents that you've sent me is that creation of the networks, the creation of practice and moving forward and new things happening, further change happening as a result of attending this facilitation. And then the second half, or maybe just under half, is the actual exercise of applying some theories to a particular organisation or organisations. I think that is the area where, in 3 hours, you're not going to be able to achieve quite so much. It is going to be a little bit of a whistle-stop tour because it's very difficult to introduce new complex ideas and practically play with them and evaluate them when you're dealing with completely new people with a very limited amount of time. So I think that's the area that upon evaluating, we're going to have to think about how successful has that been? Has that worked? Does there need to be more time allocated to that? So on and so forth. But I think that, within the structure, we're at the moment focusing on people coming together, people sharing milestones, people sharing practice, defining their own practice, meeting the other people, thinking about their life beyond the actual training, and starting to look at some of the exercises that we'll be doing with them. And it might be that in future trainings we want to add in more exercises or put more time for that. But this is what I think at the moment when you're trying to build that sense of community, which I think is one of the most important parts of the training, is where we should really put the emphasis at the moment. Because once you've got people interested like that, then hopefully they will engage with the virtual learning space and the kind of documents or the kinds of opportunities, which might even include, coffee get-togethers, trying to encourage people who've been to a training to get together again at some point in the future, maybe even that's hosted by the Arbor, where people from different trainings can come together and have a coffee and chat and share their experiences or talk about how they've dealt with their particular aspirations. But anyway, I hope this sounds of interest. Again, my apologies for not being able to be in London today. It's a bit difficult for me at the moment with the commute between Derby and London and trying to manage everything and deal with the different projects and different jobs and so on and so forth. So my apologies that I've had to send audio files instead of being there myself. But if you do want to discuss any of this, then I will be on email at some point every day and we'll look for your messages. Or as I've said, I am very happy to have a Skype conversation if that would be easier for you. And I think that is all for now. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope this has been useful, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.